You've probably used ChatGPT. Maybe you've asked it to write an email, explain quantum physics, or settle an argument with your mate at 2 a.m. But here's the question almost nobody can answer. What is actually happening in there? Like, is it thinking? Is it Googling really fast? Is it a tiny man in a box typing furiously? Today, we're opening the box, and I promise you two things. Number one, by the end of this video, you'll understand AI better than 90% of people on the internet. And number two, the real answer is weirder than the tiny man. Let's start with the twist. At its core, ChatGPT is doing one single thing: predicting the next word. That's it. That's the whole trick. It's your phone's autocomplete after it went to the gym for 10 years and read the entire internet. Here's what that means. If I say, the cat sat on the, your brain instantly goes, Matt. Not because you're a poet, because you've heard that pattern 1,000 times. ChatGPT works the same way, except it's not guessing from 1,000 examples. It's guessing from basically everything humans have ever written down. That's the training part. Before ChatGPT ever talked to you, it read a lot. Books, articles, websites, code, arguments in comment sections, trillions of words. And during training, it played the same game over and over. Hide the next word, guess it, check the answer, adjust. Repeat a few 100 billion times. Every wrong guess tweaked its internal wiring a tiny bit. Every right guess reinforced it. Do that enough times, and something surprising happens. To get really good at predicting the next word, you're forced to learn grammar, facts, logic, even a bit of humor. Not because anyone taught you, because you can't finish the sentence, "The capital of France is," without knowing it's Paris. So, where does all that knowledge live? In what's called a neural network. And don't panic, here's the friendly version. Imagine millions of tiny dials, all connected. Each dial does something incredibly dumb on its own. But wired together, billions of them, they store patterns. Patterns about words, patterns about the world, patterns about patterns. When people say a model has 175 billion parameters, those are the dials. Nobody sets them by hand. Training sets them. Which also means, and this is genuinely wild, even the people who built ChatGPT can't point at one dial and say, ah yes, this one stores the recipe for banana bread. The knowledge is smeared across all of them. Quick detail that explains a lot of weirdness. ChatGPT doesn't actually see words. It sees tokens, chunks of text, usually a few letters. Unbelievable might be 3 tokens. This is why it's historically been bad at things like counting the R's in strawberry. It literally doesn't see letters the way you do. It's not stupid, it's just reading with different glasses on. Now, when you type a question, here's the actual play-by-play. Your words get turned into tokens. The network crunches them and spits out a probability for every possible next token. Then it picks one, usually a top choice, but with a little randomness sprinkled in so it doesn't sound like a robot reading a manual. Then it does something kind of hilarious. It takes the word it just wrote, adds it to your question, and predicts the next word again and again. One word at a time, thousands of times, at ridiculous speed. That entire essay it wrote you? Never planned. It was improvised, word by word, like the world's most confident freestyle rap. Which brings us to the famous problem: hallucinations. Because ChatGPT is predicting plausible text, not checking facts, it will sometimes say completely wrong things with total confidence. Fake court cases, made-up books, a very convincing biography of you that never happened. It's not lying. Lying requires knowing the truth. It's more like vibing. The uncomfortable truth is that the correct answers and the hallucinations come from the exact same process. A good guess and a bad guess feel identical from the inside. That's why you should treat it like a brilliant mate who read everything but occasionally makes stuff up. Brilliant company, but maybe double check before quoting them in your essay. Okay, but a raw next word predictor would be chaos. Ask it a question and it might just continue your question or reply like a forum troll from 2009 because it's seen plenty of both. So after the reading phase comes finishing school. It's called reinforcement learning from human feedback, RLHF, if you want to sound smart at parties. Real humans look at the model's answers and rate them. Helpful, honest, not unhinged, gold star. Rude, wrong, or weird, no star. The model gets nudged toward the gold stars, thousands and thousands of times. That's the difference between the raw internet brain and the polite assistant answering your emails. Same brain, different manners. And every AI company does a version of this. It's why ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini all feel a bit different. They went to different finishing schools. So let's put the whole machine together. 1. It read basically everything, playing guess the next word. 2. Billions of tiny dials got tuned until the pattern stuck. 3. When you ask something, it improvises an answer one token at a time. 4. Human feedback taught it to be helpful instead of feral. That's it. That's ChatGPT. And here's the part I find genuinely mind-bending. Nobody programmed it to know things. Nobody wrote a rule that says Paris is the capital of France. All of that emerged, on its own, from one stupidly simple game, guess the next word, played at a scale no human could ever imagine. So, is it thinking? Honestly, scientists are still arguing about that one, and the argument is getting spicier every year. What we can say is this. It's not a tiny man, it's not Googling, and it's not magic. It's mathematics doing an extremely good impression of a mind. That was ChatGPT, basically. If your brain did a little ooh at any point in this video, the subscribe button is right there, and it helps the channel more than you'd think. Next time, how AI generates images out of literal noise. It's even weirder than this one. See you then.